Trump was branded the Bitcoin president. Crypto was promoted, tokens were launched, NFTs were sold. There was real financial exposure tied to the brand. And yet, in the State of the Union, not one mention of Bitcoin, not one mention of crypto. So the question is simple. What does that silence tell us? A State of the Union isn't a campaign rally. It's where a president signals what matters to the entire country: housing, energy, jobs, border security, defense. If Bitcoin were central to the governing philosophy, you would expect it to appear. But it didn't. That suggests something important. Crypto may be politically useful, but it is not electorally essential. And those are two very different things. When members of the Trump family were asked about concerns surrounding crypto and potential conflicts, the response was essentially, "The banking system created this." Or in other words, "We had to do it." That's not a legal defense. That's a reframing. It shifts from "we chose this" to "we were pushed into this." But here's the structural question. If the banking system is corrupt, does launching political tokens fix corruption? Or does it recreate it inside a new financial wrapper? That's not an accusation. That's incentive analysis. MAGA often argues, they did it too. Maybe they did. But in court, they did it too doesn't clear you. In politics, it often does. And that's bigger than one party. That's norm erosion. When accountability turns into escalation logic, institutions weaken. Here's the deeper contradiction. Many warn that central bank digital currencies are digital tyranny. What stablecoins? They are digital dollars, backed by U.S. treasuries, fully traceable, deeply integrated into the same debt system. So is the argument about freedom? Or is it about who controls the digital dollar? The state? Or private issuers aligned with political power? Crypto was marketed as anti-establishment. But when political families launch tradable financial instruments tied to their own influence, and then avoid mentioning crypto on the national stage, that's not about volatility. That's about incentives. And if you want to understand where politics is headed next, follow incentives, not slogans.